This transmission was recorded January 14th at approximately 12:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is your commander, although that is not an actual good example or translation of what you would call what I'm doing, but it seems to make the most sense at this point. I do see myself more as your humble servant and continually apologize for the delay in getting these transmissions out. The purpose of this transmission is to introduce allies. Some of you may be allies yourself, and many of your beacons or commanders are either in quarantine, which I will explain what that means. They are either in a form of quarantine or they are completely asleep, and some state in between those. As soon as you start to actually awaken to the truth, there is a forced quarantine that takes place for certain people. You may have experienced this yourself without actually knowing what it is. And once you start to move through these different levels, they are energetic. So don't let your eyes deceive you. However, because our emotions are tied to our energy, oftentimes we will experience actual quarantines, delays, stops in our lives. The allies that I'm talking about today are going to be really important as we move forward because they each have different roles that serve our overall purpose. I would like to think of them, if you and I are the Marines, there's also the Army and the Navy and the Air Force. However, it requires all of us to work together on our different functionalities and skill sets to successfully complete our mission. The first ally that I would like to share about is going to sound a bit illogical, possibly imaginary, um, fantastical, but they are real. And you might know someone, you might know one, you might be one yourself. I like to call them the demon slayers. Demon slayers, very dramatic, I told you. Demon slayers are like a mirror. And they can also serve alongside in any of these other ally branches. They can move, but their skill set is they are a mirror. They have the ability to show somebody actually what you would consider your karma, which would be the collection of energies that you have given your opportunity to have free will here in this experience, and as well as your dharma, which would be your purpose or your mission. These are extremely powerful individuals. They can create awakenings in communities, within people. Um, if they're not awakened themselves, they sometimes can be seen sort of as an outsider, um, kind of quirky, misunderstood. I don't like to make too many types of there's just so many different versions, and with all of the options here, um, But a demon slayer who is awakened to their powers has the ability to cause an energetic force of communication, which can have many different effects on a person. It's usually done with touch, although their eyes are a mirror. It is done with touch from palm to palm, like a handshake, generally, as I've seen it and witnessed. When harnessed, the demon slayer can expose as little or as much. The unharnessed power can oftentimes just make someone feel like they don't like the demon slayer. This individual could just be very misunderstood by people in their life, maybe a black sheep. They cause people to feel off and not good, and generally people deflect that back onto the demon slayer. Their purpose is to help in the awakening and the ascension process. Their ability to cause this energetic awareness for someone to actually see and feel what they've done is so powerful. It could bring someone to their knees. It could push someone into various forms of healing. However, it is a weapon. They are a weapon that can be used nefariously if programmed to. And we also use demon slayers as a weapon here on Earth to bring the opposition down. Waking up an individual, we'll just call us all human because that's how we are now. Waking up a human who is part of the opposition can do a lot of things. One, it releases all of the energy that person has been harvesting, stealing from others around them, which we'll get into. It's very real, very real. It will release the energy back to those individuals, which I don't know if any of you have ever had, an experience that you just can't explain where something just clicked, you had an aha moment or a sense of relief or knowing or confidence that seemed to come out of nowhere that just literally made no sense. You might have had energy returned to you. Once the demon slayer shows the opposition that they are opposition, it disarms them completely. They have the ability to share this information. They wouldn't generally, depending on their ranking, know who to even share it with. And will cause a different level of ascension than what you generally hear about on YouTube and these various channels that we use. They'll have a choice to go further into the density of this existence, which some might perceive as even more evil, without the ability anymore to create or harvest energy the way they have. They will have to join forces with other individuals. We've seen this with cults, religion. There is always a leader at the helm of it who is aware of what they are doing. And that energy surplus is extremely attractive to these lost individuals. Okay. This is a continuation of the transmission. I was interrupted actually by someone in the opposition. Demon slayers go after energy harvesters, which here can be called energy vampires, sociopaths, narcissists, there are people who unknowingly serve the opposition. In fact, most are unknowingly serving the opposition. So, and all of us have actually served the opposition at one point or another. And it is an extremely humbling and necessary part of your evolution to realize that you have also been weaponized at times unknowingly. And as you start to remember who you are and what's happening, you'll be able to not just forgive the situation, forgive yourself, and let go of that. All right, I digress. So much information to get to. These demon um, entities can either fully embody a human or attach itself and like a possession sort of. If you we all have an energetic field, which you can just, Google. This is, I don't want to give you guys a lesson on science, but they essentially hijack your energy, enough of it, and feed you bad thoughts about people. A lot of these individuals will really actually believe and justify what they're doing because their energy's been hijacked. So the demon slayers are absolutely crucial to getting us to the point of really coming together for our mission because they help awaken those around them. And they don't just do this to disarm the opposition, they also do this to help those of us who've forgotten who we are. They will hold the mirror up, and if you are ready and you are willing to receive actual truth of what you are representing, how you are coming and stepping out into the world and for yourself and around others, you will change. And they find you when they find you, and they can end up often becoming one of your best friends, or you realize you are a demon slayer as well. I'm going to end this transmission now.